Welcome to Books Without Borders. Today we're going to be reviewing In Praise of Slowness by Carl Honore. In this book, the author explores our compulsion to hurry and discusses a global trend to slow down. It is the Bible and unofficial guide of the slow movement. A bestseller in many countries, this book has been translated into more than 30 languages. As the book opens, it sets a rather dark tone. Our lives are flying by so fast and we are rushed, hurried, and burnt out as a result. One London life coach interviewed in the book who now works with people in their 30s and even 20s who are burned out has said, "Burnout used to be something you mainly found in people over 40. Instead of thinking deeply or letting an idea simmer in the back of the mind, our instinct now is to reach for the nearest soundbite. The author then suggests a solution to this madness, the slow philosophy, a countercultural movement to our obsession with speed. The slow philosophy can be summed up in a single word: balance. Be fast when it makes sense to be fast, and be slow when slowness is called for. Seek to live at what musicians call the tempo giusto, the right speed. So, how did we become so obsessed with time? After tracing the origin of our obsession with time, the author explains how Benedictine monks of the 6th century used primitive clocks and rang bells at set times throughout the day and night to organise their day, from prayer to study to farming to rest. From food to city planning, fitness, medicine, and work, the book explores a variety of fascinating areas in which the slow movement is gaining traction. Below are my main takeaways from each chapter. Number 1. Food. There is something in the nature of cooking and eating together that forms a bond between people. Microwave food is more popular than ever, and most McDonald's meals last on average 11 minutes. So, slow food advocates are pushing back against this trend. Number 2. Cities. City planners have struggled to create neighbourhoods that strike a balance between urban accessibility and rural retreat since the early 20th century. In spite of this, city living feels too hectic and stressful for many people, which is why vacationing and travelling have grown in popularity, as people seek a break from the pressures of everyday life. Number 3. Mind and body. In this chapter, the author mentions great thinkers like Charles Darwin and Albert Einstein, who were famed for slow thinking and staring into space for a long time. Tens of millions of people worldwide practice meditation, including CEOs of top companies, according to this chapter. Exercise and weight training should be encouraged because they reduce the risk of injury and result in stronger, more flexible joints. Number 4. Medicine. When you give patients time and attention, they can relax into healing. Modern hospitals often practice medicine in a very hurried, transactional way, according to the author. Emergency rooms, for instance, require a high level of speed, as in many other areas of life. Faster is not better in medicine. Number 5. Sex. People in the fast lane cannot be sure of anything, not even their own hearts. Furthermore, when marriages and relationships suffer, the damage impacts the economy as well. According to US research, employees with marital problems lose on average 15 workdays a year, resulting in a loss of almost $7 billion in productivity annually. Number 6. Work. Many historical leaders, from Benjamin Franklin to George Bernard Shaw to Richard Dixon, predicted that due to the rise of technology, productivity would increase and people would work shorter and shorter hours. The predictions proved to be incorrect. In today's world, more people work longer and harder than they want, and many of these include long commutes. Technology has created an always-on culture, rather than ushering in the age of leisure. A 35-hour work week has been instituted by the French government. Number 7. Leisure. People are starting to return to their slower pursuits and their hobbies, from gardening to knitting, reading and listening to classical music. And finally, chapter number 8, Education. The then Dean of Harvard, Harry Lewis, wrote a letter to all first-year Harvard undergrads in the summer of 2001. Freshmen receive the letter every year. He argues that doing less will help you get more out of university and life. He writes, "Empty time is not a vacuum to be filled. It is the thing that enables the other things on your mind to be creatively rearranged. Like the empty square in a 4x4 puzzle that makes it possible to move the other 15 pieces around." In conclusion, the book wraps up by emphasizing that there is no one-size-fits-all formula for slowing down. It leaves us with a few more nuggets of wisdom. Being slow means never rushing, never striving to save time just for the sake of it. It means remaining calm and unflustered, even when circumstances force us to speed up. Some people are happy living at a speed that would send the rest of us to an early grave. Everyone must have the right to choose the pace that makes them happy. The world is a richer place when we make room for different speeds. I really enjoyed this book. I think I learned a lot. This book is perfect for anyone who longs for a slower life and needs to be reminded that there are others who feel the same way. Also, there's interesting bites of new information to be gained. For example, a piece of music can be played differently depending on the mood of an audience, the size of the crowd, even the temperature of the room. I had no idea great composers did not mark their scores with tempo markings. I thought that was really interesting. Slowing down can make your experience richer for anyone who wants to savor life. Reading slowly can help you appreciate the character more fully, wondering why the author chose to write a certain sentence that way. Slow music can bring out deeper emotions. The taste of what you consume is enhanced when you eat more slowly. However, those who already value slowness will be attracted to this book. It is unlikely to attract those who are obsessed with speed, the actual people who need to read this book in the first place. If you feel your life is rushed and unfulfilling, then this book is just for you. This is for anyone who feels that there is not enough hours in the day to accomplish everything they need to. Anyone who feels overwhelmed by modern-day rage and anxiety. Almost everyone in the West should read it. Society tells us we do too much, and it is still not enough. Every day we ought to be doing everything faster, multitasking more efficiently, and packing more into our days. Our lives are so fast-paced, we don't have time to appreciate anything we do. We bite into our food while checking our emails and getting ready to go out, and we groan when it takes 30 seconds longer than expected for the meal to be ready, or if we have to wait at a traffic light for 30 seconds. While trying to avoid wasting time, we have forgotten the importance of appreciating the world around us, of taking time to enjoy the simple pleasures, or to simply relax. A culture that is always going faster and having more is making people sick and unhappy. This book encourages us to slow down, enjoy food, enjoy music, enjoy relaxing, enjoy hobbies. Let your kids enjoy being kids. Working less will give you more time to accomplish things. The result will be more happiness, productivity, creativity, and health. Another couple of interesting points I took away from this book. The author's chapter on cities mentions that many cities are now designing themselves under the banner of new urbanism. Think Seaside in The Truman Show, a real city by the way. The design of this concept is patterned after the idea of being more pedestrian-friendly, focusing on local business and valuing social connections between neighbours. Speaking of speed in cars, when we are busy we tend to speed. Yet, it takes 2.5 minutes to drive 2 miles at 50 miles an hour. If you drive 2 miles at 80 miles an hour, you arrive at your destination a whole 54 seconds earlier. Is it really worth it? I don't think so. I enjoyed the chapter on mind and body. Meditation, whether spiritual or otherwise, has a real calming effect on the body, according to the author. And actually, why is it that many people's great ideas are in the shower, on the toilet, running, or working out? Because they have let their minds slow down and wander. Brainstorming is great, but it also has its drawbacks. As a result, we are constantly FOMO, fear of missing out, and always in a hurry that our relationships, our memories, and even our very existence exist on a superficial level. In order to avoid missing out and not fit in, we have become neurotic enough to live in ways that our bodies and minds disagree with. In Praise of Slowness, a really good read, quite pertinent to today's mad world. If you've liked this video, please give us a thumbs up, or why not visit and subscribe to our channel. Here you can find other reviews across a number of different titles. Thank you for watching.